Hey folks, Craig Scottish Agate here. I'm going to show you a few samples of layered or slab agate today that we get in Montrose. Not frequently, but every now and again you do get a nice slab. So let's see if I can, there we go. So this stuff, it seems to have formed, whoops, in two stages as the cracks widened, because there seems to be like two distinct halves, but it's not a hard and fast science. Let's get that to zoom in. But you can see like green moss and algae layers, little bits of agate. That might be little flashes of calcite. I think it's zooming in on my finger. And then we've got little bits of carnelian, what's like quartzy amethyst down here, a bit more moss. But you get this in all flavors. So this is a more like carnelian type, a bit of iron staining in there. Really nice material to work with. So slab or layer agate forms basically like this in between the cracks in the rocks. As you can see, this is formed. You've still got a bit of host rock on this side. And you've got Montrose blue down here. Oh, zooming in on my thumb again. And yeah, looks like it's formed in two parts again. And then, so you get some nice sizer chunk. So that's a decent sizer chunk. And this is a stalagmite agate that's formed. I'm gonna say this is gonna be the bottom. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, the plant mat. Zoomed in on my thumb again. The plant mat is usually down the bottom. You can see some wonderful banding in amongst the stalagmites down the bottom and the moss as well. That's going to form that way. Wish I found more of that, but that was just the size of the lump. So this gives you a bit more an idea of like sandwich between two host rocks. I just like this one because it looks a bit like that flowing under like the hills. You see little chambers where smaller agates have been forming in the host rock. So, and this is another bit of the lighter material that we get around here, not so frequently. It gives some wonderful 3D effects that the camera really doesn't do any good, but you get some wonderful like crazy banding, little flame that's going on. Whoa. And I think this bit's a little bit different because in this bit we've got, I think it's formed that way up because you can see the moss more down this end, but you've got a finger, you've got smoky quartz geode included in it, and then a little bit of amethyst, baby pink amethyst towards this end. Don't polish that bit. And then just little geodes. Then we're back into the mossy bit at the end. yeah, there's huge chunks of this every now and again wash up when it gets broken up offshore. You can see a lot more, so that's going to have formed that way up because you see a lot more moss down this end. And then baby pink amethyst at the end. Montrose blue and grey down here. And then more carnelian and red at that end. And then just lots of that this all came from, well, most of this came from one slab that I found at the side of a field. You can see, I think this one's got a bit, yeah, it's got a bit of house rock on the top as well. You can see the green layer from where it's formed, and then the cracks widened. And then there's a crazy bit of amethyst layer that came out. There's the geode chambers inside, which was quite cool. And then, so we get some very different. This one's, I think, more carnelian, but very pretty. There's some. Let's see if I can get this to zoom in a little further. 2 seconds. There we go. This is some wonderful detail in up here. This is that way up. As you can see the moss at the bottom. The orange will probably be iron staining. And this chunk, whoops, this chunk's huge. It's amethyst in the middle, and then agate and quartz and all kinds of stuff around the edge. Actually formed that way up because, oh, actually I'm not so sure. This one seems to have a little bit of moss at both sides. There's some lovely details going on. And then, just for something really different, this is a bit of conglomerate layer agate with iron staining running through it, which is very unique. Iron will be the red, the yellow and the orange will be sulfur and iron, and then all of this is just mashed up agate and quartzite just smushed all together and then reformed, which is quite cool. Let me just zoom back a second. So very different because I only have, I think, 2 bits of this, and the whole time I've been searching and doing shed clearances and things, or in the fields. Some very nice colours running through that. And then, last but not least, another huge chunk of slab and stalagmite agate, but this one's got some calcite chunks in this side. It's got some lovely red and brown flowing through that. It leads to some nice 3D effects in places that, yeah, they don't really show up on the camera. Huge chunk of calcite in that corner. sort of little geode chamber. And then just more. It's hard to know how this one formed. It's such a mishmash. Anyway, if you're not following me, you should be, and I better let you just go, guys. Bye.